this is a long one from Huzzy, which he's been somebody attends these often. So it says, long question, Bradley, currently getting around 8 to 9% reply rate with about 85 to 90% positive from cold email. So he's talking about, Ian, you're probably aware of this. I do a lot of cold email for generating leads for my agencies. And so I've been teaching about that for years. And so he's following that process. And so he's saying most contacts make it through all the nurture sequences to the end of the campaign, but a significant amount of them either ghost or say not interested when I ask for a meeting to review their listing. Would it be better to do a quick Loom video going over their listing, auditing their GBP, soft pitching, and adding them to a newsletter in order to have a larger list of warm contacts that are open to getting pitched, rather than requesting a meeting, which either results in a booked call about 8 to 10% of the time or kills the potential for contacting them in the future? So just very quickly, that's what I do. And I've talked about this before on Hump Day Hangouts, guys. Look, if the contact is engaged with me in that pre-call warm-up process, which is done 100% via automation and AI now, including the outbound voice calls to get the appointment booked. I look at the engagement history in high level, you can see it just in the conversation view. You can look and see the activity levels and the back and forth between the contact and the automations and the AI. You can see the whole thing. And so I look in high level and just see how engaged was that contact up until the booked appointment. And if they were very engaged, then when I'm on the appointment, like in the meeting room waiting for them, tree guys are notorious for not showing up. A lot of local businesses aren't, because they might have had good intentions when they booked the appointment to make it, but they're running their business. They're always putting out fires, always playing whack-a-mole. And so a lot of the times they just honestly couldn't make it. Or they're, you know, with tree guys, a lot of times they just don't want to make it, but also they're very, very busy. Anyway, long story short, if I see that they were very engaged, then because I already had 30 minutes blocked off on my calendar, if they don't make it, if they don't show up in the first 5 minutes, I send them a text message. Hey, I'm waiting in the Google Meet, or used to say Zoom, but now Google Meet, for our scheduled appointment. Please join me here. And I send them the link. If they replied back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I got caught up on something, or I'm not going to make it, or whatever, then because I already had that time blocked off, that's when I've already had, right before the call, I always open up all the tabs where I've got their local search grid report or their rank reports and their website pulled up, their GBP, et cetera. I've got all this stuff already ready for the call. And so if they don't show up for the call, as long as they were engaged or they reply back to a text message stating like, sorry, I can't make it, I'll use the rest of that time that I had blocked to record a video. And I send it to them. I just say, hey, look, and I understand you're a busy guy. This happens all the time. No problem here. I've recorded a video to kind of go over what I was going to go over with you on the call. And I send it to them. And then, by the way, just to answer, Huzzy, I don't ask their permission to add them to a newsletter. They just go on to my newsletter. I've never asked a single tree contractor, hey, is it all right if I add you to my newsletter? They just go on my newsletter. If they don't like it, they can unsubscribe. You know what I mean? And so, and I just talked about this, like I've closed 4 new tree service contractors now in the last 2 weeks, and I haven't even tried. And like, I'm not even trying to grow my tree service business, SEO business right now, because I'm just focusing on white label. But because of all the leads in my pipeline, on my nurture sequence and in my newsletter list, et cetera, one of them I closed one of them on a review service last year in June. I think it was in May or June. And it was a $99 a month service. And just 3 weeks ago, he reached out and said, you know, like, hey man, you know, I'm not really happy with my current marketing provider, blah, blah, blah. I've been getting your newsletters. I'd like to have a chat with you. So I scheduled a call with him. We got on call. I just closed him. You know what I mean? So this just goes to show you what you're asking about. Yes, you know, just because they don't show up to an appointment doesn't mean that they've gone cold completely. They're just not ready yet. You see what I'm saying? Like, I always look at it this way, guys. Time and circumstance changes everything. It always does. And so if you're not pushy with them on the front end, which is why I'm never pushy at all, then if they're not ready, which most of them aren't going to be right now, they likely will be ready later. And as long as you weren't pushy and you were very cool with them, you build a little bit of rapport with them in that initial kind of stage when you meet them, so to speak, then they're usually a lot more open and receptive. When they are ready, then they're going to think, well, hey, this guy seemed to be easy to work with. Like, you know, he wasn't pushy, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give him a call and see what he has to offer for me. So that's what I mean, again, I'm telling you guys, a non-pushy sales approach is the best way to go, in my opinion, when you're dealing with local businesses, because they get pitched to on the regular all the time. And so being kind of different will help you to stand out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Any comments on that from you, Ian?
No, I think that's great advice. I mean, I got something of value out of that, because using that remaining meeting time, I think that's an awesome idea. I mean, I have calls that don't connect. Sometimes it's a little bit different for me. These would be like white label clients, agency owners, but yeah, no, that sounds great. I mean, like, I would be looking at, I mean, like, honestly, I would be having people look at those conversation chains that are leading up to it. And I'd be getting feedback on those to see if there's anything that you can add on top of it, add more value, add more engagement, add deeper questions, add anything that's going to give some indication that something to value about their business, or that you're discovering things or like interested in it. I think anything that makes it clear that this isn't the surface level conversation, that this is something that's more interesting in that email chain without being weird. That would be a place that I would look.